What is up, Wicked Turtle Nation? We just wanted to let you guys know that Wicked Turtle Network has decided to join the Raise Rebellion as brand ambassadors for Raise Energy Drink. Raise Energy gives you fresh, and that stands for focus, recovery, energy, stamina, and hydration. With zero sugar, absolutely no crash, electrolytes, and BCAA aminos. I encourage everyone listening or watching right now to raise up and join the Raise Rebellion yourself by going to your local GNC, vitamin shop, or even online at repsports.com. And order yourself some Raise Energy drinks or other athletic supplements in bulk. And when checking out, use the order code WICKEDTURTLE for a 15% discount. The website and order code will be in the description of this cast. Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You're listening to another episode of the Duke's Dive. First off, in a bit of tech news, we got the WWE Network has updated on all platforms. I had gotten the email the other day here, and I've updated all my systems. PS4 looking great, Xbox One looking great. Upgraded on iOS, and just wanted to show you here the upgrade screen, and basically the what's new of it says. This is what the what's new says on iOS, and I would imagine Android too, but I'm not sure exactly. But this is the bit of information I've gotten on the iOS as far as what exactly changed. It says, you've asked and we've listened. The release of the WWE app has a lot of new changes that may take a moment to get used to, but we think you'll like them. By the way, we're still listening, so stay tuned in the coming weeks as we deliver more of the features and updates you've asked for. In this release, a new face, you'll notice the app has had a makeover. Our new look and feel goes beyond the standard definition of streaming apps to bring you support for modern high-density screens, better way to navigate through our tens of thousands of hours of content, more dynamic, interesting, relevant presentation of all WWE Network content. Jump too quickly, get to parts of shows or matches you like best. Autoplay, don't want the next video to automatically play. Now you can toggle autoplay on or off to your liking. Search, new and improved. The search function now returns relevant results. They're organized for custom browsing. Superstars, we revamped their experience so it's easier to find and save your favorite superstars. Let us know what you think at appfeedback@wwe.com. Like I said, I've had a little bit of time. Wanted to check out and see just how true that search feature was, so I just typed in Bray Wyatt. Brought up the superstar bio page and memorable matches and pay-per-views and whatnot that he was in. So I like that idea, and pretty good. Like I said, the playback's improved a little bit to where you can go ahead and skip forward, backwards. Tap it twice, skip forward like 20 seconds, 3 times for 30 seconds. Stuff like that. It's a lot smoother. I noticed that people were asking for playlists to be featured. That's still something that's yet to happen. I know they have the playlists they make, like for AJ Styles or Kurt Angle, stuff like that, but I think a lot of people are asking right now for custom playlists. And with that being said, though, I did watch an event on the WWE Network real quick. Was Smackville. I guess that was basically a house show, and to be honest, if that's the route we're going in, I hear rumors of tiers for the WWE Network. As far as adding more content to the network, they'll have a free layer, their $9.99 tier, and then up and onward, $15 or more or whatever. I don't know if anything's going to be more than that, but I'm imagining, and we're hearing things of like Evolve getting in the mix with the stuff they're adding, as well as different house shows for Raw and SmackDown to be aired. So that's going to help them too with people thinking, well, it's just a house show, I'm not going to show up, to where, oh, well, if they're going to be filming that for the network, I might as well go, especially if you're going to get seats for like $15-20, sit at a reasonable level. I know some events aren't that way, but most house shows are anyway. But that had opened up with Shinsuke Nakamura versus Mustafa Ali. That was a really good one. Nakamura working a really strong heel style. Strong style was in full effect, and it was kind of like a short little match, but not too short. Nakamura was using this snap suplex off the ropes. I had to rewind that a couple times to see what they were talking about. He did it so fast. He had a couple near falls, Mustafa Ali, in this match, but Nakamura picked it up with a Kinshasa and retained. We opened it up with coming out, and he was counting out Finn Balor, who was supposed to be there and fight him for the Intercontinental title but couldn't be there, so he was saying that he should have retained the title on a forfeit, and they were counting him out. Mustafa Ali come out and challenged him to an impromptu match on the spot. Then we had Elias versus Kevin Owens. Elias is out here playing the electric guitar. He had a pretty long solo. He's actually pretty decent on the guitar. Never really noticed that. I've never really paid attention to him, but pretty good. He goes into a song, takes a phone call, just Elias things. Then he's interrupted by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has a new shirt, new color scheme. I like that. These guys are really cool to watch together. They messed up pretty well. Pretty neat little old school off the top from Elias, and I think he has a pretty good ripcord knee, but everybody seems to be doing that these days. Looks good though. Owens wins this with a really nice Swanton Bomb off the top, which leads us to our main event, which was Dolph Ziggler versus Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston. This was your typical two guys that are heels working together to get the good guy, but the heels implode, and then they start all going at each other instead of working together. Kind of like a Tower of Doom situation, but one of the guys got out of that, and I think it was Kofi had gotten out of that and hit a something or other to break up the Tower of Doom. I was going to say, oh no, not another Tower of Doom spot. But, this wasn't too short, but it was just the right amount for a decent match. It was a nice little snack of a match, basically. Kofi wins with an SOS to Joe while Dolph is on the outside. And that's going to take us over to MLW 67. Not too much of a match card on this one, but there was a couple good ones. Literally only a couple this week. They're moving into Never Say Never, I do believe, is the name of the next event, as well as they're going to have their first pay-per-view event, their actual first, well, I guess it's the rebranding of MLW, but the first in this era pay-per-view. But as far as MLW 67 goes, it opens with Selena De La Renta putting kind of like a hex on Mance Warner as she summons Bestia 666. That was a pretty interesting little promo there, very interesting. We go into the match of Alexander Hammerstone versus Davey Boy Smith. This was a classic wrestling match. This is something you'd see, you know, on WCW or NWA, I feel anyway. Of course, it opened up with Dynasty getting on the microphone, which I note that Richard Holiday is getting so good on the mic. I don't like to listen to MJF. I don't think anybody does. That's why Beyond Wrestling has that code. Use the code MJF sucks to get 20 free days for your independent wrestling TV. Use the code. Davey Boy Smith is extremely good. He had an amazing, sit-out powerbomb. Bulldog sit-out powerbomb. Dynasty, of course, getting involved the whole match. And they had a cool little back-to-back, one-for-one German suplex. Davey would suplex Hammerstone, which would turn around and suplex him back, and then Davey would get up and suplex him back. That was a really good back and forth. You have to check that out. Of course, Davey, he makes any kind of move like a belly to back look so devastating. He has that old school wrestling type of less is more mentality, I feel. Of course, we get a DQ win by Hammerstone as MJF spits on the Canadian flag on the outside. Davey grabs the flag and he starts hitting anybody and everybody in sight with the Canadian flag, so he ends up losing by disqualification in that manner. But the next up we have here Mance Warner cutting a promo on Selena De La Renta. All I could think of in this promo is I'd really like to see him versus Jay Briscoe one day. The next match in the main event of the evening was Los Parks versus Dr. Wagner Jr. and El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Cornette did a good job of telling us that this was a very long-lasting feud, lasting generations and throughout different promotions and such. And but this was the first time it was on American soil. Cornette says this match is the equivalent to Austin versus Rock. During this match, you could definitely hear a lot of air horns, and MLW has recently gotten slack on a lot of people complaining about these air horns, but they're steadfast on they will not get rid of the air horns, as it's very crucial to, lucha history and lucha tradition, and they are very heavily based in lucha tradition, MLW is. So to see a match like this that, goes to show just how deep into the lucha tradition MLW is. LA Park, of course, unmasks Dr. Wagner Jr. in this one. Of course, he had lost his mask back in 2017, as Cornette explains to us. So it wasn't a big time, reveal like that, but it was still a pretty dastardly move for him to do. Park, LA Park and Wagner Sr. are amazing together. The juniors were amazing together. And this is one you just got to go out of your way to watch. This was a really, really, really solid lucha match. Of course, Park beats Wagner Jr. with a spear, cutting him in half. That's crazy, man. The way that guy moves with that spear. He's one of the best in my book with this spear. But, that being said, that's all I really wanted to cover. I know we're pretty late here on a Sunday afternoon, and I promise next week will be a little bit earlier as the weekend will be tied up for us. Smart Mark Alley is going to be at Eclipse Wrestling this Saturday, August the 3rd, Building 2 in Altoona, Pennsylvania, as well as we will be in Sarah, Pennsylvania for Northern Tier Wrestling on August the 4th, Sunday. So come out to both of those events. We'll be there. I'll try to get a new episode of Duke Dives up next week a little bit earlier than Saturday or Sunday. I have some Ring of Honor I want to cover and a couple other things. So with that being said, I'm done rambling. You're done listening. This has been the Duke's Dive. Thank you for listening.